Hey, yo, welcome back. You know what it is when you see the blue background. It's comic book times. Mostly you'll see this maybe, on the weekends. I'm feeling like the weekends for comic books, the rest of the week during music. But one, shout out to everybody who's been supporting this channel. I told you this is a reflection of just my passions, what I love, what I'm into. So, I know, the channel picked up a lot of steam during Drake and Kendrick Lamar, and that's where we got most of the traffic. Once that dies down, like we're gonna settle down back to normal. But those of you who like consistently stick around and all the messages that I got that people are like, wow, you're really into comic books, like for real. I love that you're exploring all of your passions. I appreciate y'all the most for just coming through and checking this out. So look, this episode, as you can see from the headline, is about Taylor Swift and how it relates to the X-Men and maybe Deadpool Wolverine. I'm gonna get into all of that. But before we even started, I posted a short about this, but a lot of people are like, yo, Rob, what are you reading? I just finished this series. It's called Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. It's an independent book by IDW. Let me hold it up a little more. Patrick Horvath is the illustrator and the writer, and he paints. It's painted. It kind of looks like watercolor. It's not watercolor, but it kind of looks like watercolor. But this it's like a horror series. This is like if you read the Berenstain Bears as a kid or watch Arthur on PBS. This is like Berenstain Bears or Arthur meets Dexter. It's like these cute animals who live in this town, but they're complete sickos. Like, so, it's a thriller, it's a horror. I mean, this whole town is just full of sickos. Like, my man right here got his head sliced off. So, a lot of people ask me what I'm reading. I'm reading a lot, but I enjoyed this series. It's a 6-part miniseries. I'd be surprised if it doesn't get like picked up for television or something like that, or some type of series. So we'll see with that. Also, coming up, I definitely want to do a video on the new Doom comic book that came out by Sanford Green. I'm just waiting for that to actually come in the mail. It got delayed a little bit. And I started reading Marvel's Blood Hunt. I'm not super excited about it. Like, vampires is not really my thing, if I'm being honest. But there's something interesting going on with Marvel with these red band comics, which are like more gorier, more bloody. So they'll do 2 versions of the same comic, but they'll do one in red band, which has more graphic, gory art, and then something regular. And I want to do a side-by-side comparison for y'all. I'm waiting. I bought the red band version. When I saw the red band version, I'm like, all right, this is the one I'm getting. And I was like, you know what? I should have got the regular version because I just want to do a side-by-side comparison to what the real art differences are. But as soon as that comes in the mail, I'll probably make a video about that too. Reading a lot of back issues. I'm reading a lot of stuff. But that Beneath the Trees, if you didn't get to check it out, and they're pretty pricey, but they've also gone into like there's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th printings of issue number 1. So you can get like a 5th printing for cheap if you're not trying to spec on it and you just want to read the story. It was a great story to read. So, but what I'm here for today, is this Dazzler rumor. And if you're super into comics and you're super into the MCU, you've heard this rumor before. If you're kind of new to it, or you just have like a surface, you might not get what's going on. But Deadpool and Wolverine is coming out. It's going to be, I think, the only MCU movie this year, and it's actually going to take Deadpool, who traditionally was a Fox property. So this is going to be his first time in the MCU proper. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine as well. Those X-Men movies were Fox, and now that Disney bought Fox, now Disney has the rights to the X-Men characters that Fox previously had, so they can introduce Deadpool and Wolverine into the MCU. And this is supposed to be like the beginnings of the X-Men in live action, again, set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, separate from those old X-Men movies that we've seen. So Deadpool and Wolverine are going to be a pretty big deal. And, the word is that we're seeing a lot of cameos. In the trailer, we've seen some cameos from Azazel. You can see in there, you can see Callisto, played by Danya Ramirez. There are a couple of other cameos that escape me now, but you can see those in the trailer. So they're bringing like characters and villains, like maybe B-list and C-list villains from the old X-Men series into this, and they're gonna do something with Deadpool Wolverine and this part of the TVA, which we saw in Loki, the time time variance authority. And so there's a lot of the timelines and this and that. So you're going to see a lot of things like mishmashed into this movie. And then, the other rumor is that just going to be a whole bunch of cameos. Actually, there were rumors that the movie was done, but they did a lot of reshoots where they're just kind of shooting really quick cameos just to thrill the audience. So one persistent rumor has been that Taylor Swift is going to appear in the movie as Dazzler. If you don't know who Dazzler is, she is part of the X-Men. First came out in the 80s, right? I think 1980 to be exact. So this is her first appearance, Uncanny X-Men 130. And so her superpower is basically that she can like take sound and make it into light. So and she's a pop star. So that's what she's actually, like a famous mutant. She's in the X-Men world, but she's a pop star. And you can see her here. I mean, there might be glare, but you can kind of see her here with a microphone in her hand. She was born out of the disco era, so that's why she looks like that. But she takes sound, turns it into light, and she can fight a little bit, but she's the pop star of the X-Men. So this is her first appearance. So I mean, just looking at her right off the bat, looked like a role that Taylor Swift was born to play. And so those have been rumors. And then about a month ago, Marvel reprinted that was her first appearance. Marvel did what they call the facsimile edition of her first appearance. So they reprinted it. They usually do that. They recently they reprinted Hulk 181, which is the first appearance of Wolverine, because there's about to be a lot of Wolverine hype. This is the 50-year anniversary of Wolverine. A lot of times they'll reprint stuff or make the facsimile edition because they're either doing new books or it's the anniversary of the character. They just expect a lot of hype around the character, a lot of interest around the character, and it gives particularly new fans as well an entry point or to revisit that character, right? And they also they don't do this for every facsimile edition, but these holofoil reprints. So I picked one of these up. So these came out like a month ago, and so this is the same book, but with a hologram with a foil cover, not a hologram cover, but a foil cover. And they recently this week too did Deadpool. They reprinted Deadpool's first appearance, New Mutants 98, which I got on the wall up there, but they did that in a foil edition. Why? Because the new Deadpool movie is coming out. There's a lot of hype. Kids who didn't get to experience that when that dropped in 91, maybe 92, can go in, pick it up off from their favorite comic books, and they can have the first appearance of Deadpool. It won't be the valuable one, the first printing, but they can hold on to a bit of history, right? And then the foil covers look cool. Dazzler to me was a weird choice to reprint her first appearance and put the foil on there. That's just me. Now, in September, Marvel is also like relaunching the X-Men line, and so there's going to be a number of new X-Men books. They're going to reconfigure the team, and Dazzler is getting her own solo series in September, which, again, cool character, but was never one of the main X-Men characters, right? So I'm going to read this from the Marvel site, because part of it is like, well, why are they relaunching Dazzler? But just listen to the description of this series. And well, this is the headline, right? And this is on Marvel's site. Dazzler lights up the world in new solo comic book series. All right. I'm just going to read this quote. Dazzler embarks on a new world tour. Who just came off their world tour? Who in real life, right? Dazzler embarks on the new world tour, the culmination and celebration of her entire musical career eras, right? But while Dazzler may be ready to focus on her music, her celebrity mutant status and a violent attack may sideline the entire endeavor before it's even begun. All right. I'm going to go to this quote from Jason Liu, who is the writer of it. Well, first of all, too, they're going to have it says each issue of Dazzler will also feature all new song lyrics from Allie's notebook. That's her real in the comic book. That's her real name. So they're really gonna play up this tour thing in the comic books. They're really gonna play up like the lyric. They're really gonna play up the pop star Dazzler. But Jason Liu has this quote. He says, "Get ready to sing along to some new original songs off of her new album," which I'm assuming just appears in the comic book. But are they gonna make a real soundtrack? And if they're gonna make a real soundtrack, who's gonna actually write those songs? Who's gonna sing those songs? I don't know. But get ready to sing some new original songs off her new album. Some of them may be about her exes. Who writes songs about their exes? Who is like known for writing songs? Who is the main pop star known for every time she drops an album, it's a song about her ex? If Taylor Swift is not somehow involved with this whole Dazzler thing, right? Marvel is really playing it up. You know what I mean? Like they're really, and I think they're playing a dangerous game. I think even just that quote, you know, get ready to sing along to some new original songs off her new album. Some of them may be about her exes. There's gonna be a lot of disappointed people if this is just like a fake out to drum up hype, and Taylor's nowhere involved, right? Something else that came out earlier this year. So I showed you the first appearance of Dazzler. So Dazzler had her own series in the 80s. So this is Dazzler #1, right? And then Tidal Wave, an independent company, produced their own Taylor Swift comic earlier this year. And this was one of the variant covers. So I picked it up. I just picked it up because I thought it was hilarious. Travis Kelce right there. You see what I'm saying? When you see it side by side, somebody's playing a game. Also, it was reported this week. I'm gonna go back and give some more proof. Right, like right now, I'm just speculating, but Ryan Reynolds, who stars as Deadpool, right, spoke to Fandango sometime last week, and here's what he said. This is from Teen Vogue. In an interview with Fandango, Ryan Reynolds addressed the rumors of Swift joining the Deadpool family, saying, "You know, movies like this, there's so much speculation about so many people that might end up in the film. I saw one that was convinced that Elvis is in the movie. Anything can happen, and that's sort of what I love about this universe. Surprises are the essence of Deadpool." So he's not confirming, right? He's not denying. What else? Okay, so that now there's been reports. Where can I find this at? There have been reports that Taylor Swift had met with Kevin Feige, who is of course the lead over at Marvel, right? Marvel Studios. And so first those started to leak those reports by Daniel RPK, who's like this industry insider. So they said, yo, you know, she's been meeting with Kevin Feige. Okay, what is she meeting about a potential role? Okay. And then shortly after that, we heard that the role that's being considered is for Blonde Phantom, which is like a spy type character set in the 50s. So Taylor Swift to come in and play Blonde Phantom. Now, I'm sure anything she does, like everything she does, will be successful. But what a way to not give the people what they want, right? You know what I'm saying? I think this is a fake out. I mean, nobody asked for a Blonde Phantom movie. Most like comic fans don't even know what the Blonde Phantom is. I had to look it up. You know what I'm saying? So nobody really wants this. And plus, we're in this era now where Marvel has definitely been criticized about spreading themselves too thin. There's so many shows and so many characters coming out, and it's just wide and expansive. I can't see them expanding to Blonde Phantom. Not right now. Like they kind of got to get this thing back on track after Kang and Jonathan Majors and that whole thing. We were going in one direction. There's movies that we seen that just didn't make any real sense in the large scheme of things, like the Eternals. There's this new Agatha series coming out. I don't know what's that about. Like I'm not like super interested in that. Like I think we're really in an era where Marvel has to like zero in, right? And really get focused. And I don't see them making a Blonde Phantom series. Now, listen, if Taylor comes in and says, I want to play this obscure character that nobody knows, I mean, they're going to say yes, right? Like, it's Taylor Swift again. The success is going to follow. But I think the fans want to see her as Dazzler. I think it's the perfect role for her, even just the cameo. I think that's where it starts. I think all of this is a fake out. Then, of course, I'm pretty sure y'all have heard about this one on her last album, right? Here, I'm gonna pull up the lyric on Torture Poets Department. The song Clara Bow. She says, "You look like Taylor Swift in this light. We're loving it. You got edge she never did. The future's bright, dazzling." So Taylor is known for putting like Easter eggs within all of her music and stuff like that, and almost like a rapper in that way. Like there's double meanings, there's things that hint towards other things. She's really, her and Jack Antonoff and her whole creative team are really like great at doing that. So people are speculating, was that just a coincidence, or is she dazzling, ending the song on dazzling? Is she hinting towards Dazzler? For me, I just think it's a can't miss opportunity. I think they got to do it. I think it'll be fun. For one, two, listen, man, I should probably upgrade from a 7.5, but it's gonna make this go up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Once the Swifties want to start getting their hands on things like these, it's gonna make this go up. So as far as spec goes, like, you know what I'm saying, it should fare pretty well for like long time comic collectors. And it'll just be fun. Deadpool is the perfect movie to do it. It doesn't have to be so serious. It doesn't have to be, Ryan Reynolds, just Deadpool, the way the character is and the way Ryan Reynolds play him. It's just going to be a big joke. It's just going to, it's going to be a fun ride. So I'm just looking. I have no concrete evidence, but I'm just seeing and checking the temperature. I think we're going to get a small cameo of Dazzler in Deadpool Wolverine. And I think Taylor Swift is going to play. I could be completely wrong. And if I am, I'll come back and admit that I'm wrong. But I think that's how it's going down. That's it for this week, though. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hit me up, like, subscribe. We just feeling it out over here, man. There's definitely going to be more comic book content. There's going to be more music content coming up next week. I definitely want to do an episode on Vince Staples' new project. So you'll probably see that Monday. Definitely tune into the channel on Monday because I want to talk about Vince Staples' new project. I got a ton of comic books I want to talk about. Like I said, I want to talk about Blood Hunt. When that drops, I got some new pickups that I want to talk about. So, we're just going to be here with y'all, man. So if y'all talk to me, I'm definitely talking back. All right. Peace.